India's COVID fight, the vaccination drive and the new strains that have been detected in India, the COVID strains. And who better to talk about all this than Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, Joint Managing Director of the Apollo Hospitals Group, also former president of FICCI. Thanks, Dr. Reddy, for joining us. First, let's talk about the new strains. Now, the government has said that there are 4 cases of South Africa COVID strain in India and 1 case of the Brazilian variant. Now, this is a small number and the patients are quarantined, but these strains are more infectious. So is this potentially a cause for worry? Should India relook at its precautions?
So, good afternoon, and I think it's be careful and stay on guard. The fact is that while vaccinations are continuing, we still have a very small number of people who are vaccinated.
Yes.
And therefore all precautions should be maintained. So wear a mask, maintain social distancing, and sanitize are the 3 that continue to be the Bible that should be guiding all of us. The strains, so we first heard about the UK variant and how highly contagious it was, and then
Yes.
there's the whole conversation around South Africa and then Brazilian variants. And being a virus of the nature that could really bring the world down to its heels, you can expect that, there will be variations. It's a highly mutating virus. So I think the primary thing all of us must do is take the vaccination as soon as possible.
Yes.
And continue to follow all precautions.
Yes. So you spoke about vaccines. Let's talk about them. Going by the pace of the vaccinations right now in India, about 87 lakh vaccinations have happened so far. Do you think we are on track to achieve our target of vaccinating 30 crore Indians by July? How do you think we can speed up this process?
So clearly, I would say that the first phase has gone well in terms of the efficiency. Most importantly, in terms of the very low reporting, there are no complications or minimal negligible complications.
Yes.
So the fact that this is a safe vaccine, the fact that the machinery or the mechanism has been able to gear up to deliver and administer, to track complications, and now we're all into our second doses, the people who took the first one. So this is a good tick mark. Now the next stage is scaling and enhancing.
Yes.
And I think at this point of time, and we are really on the brink of that, the good news again is that we're hearing that the production or the capacity is over 5 million vaccines per month. And therefore this ability to give us the 30 million by July,
Yes.
in terms of supply, is possible. So the next thing is the administration.
Yes.
Since the underlying framework is in place,
Yes.
we only need to scale and enhance the framework. Private sector, as you all know, is ready to come in, and government is already having conversations with the private sector on how will you participate, where is the cold chain, what are the precautions, so that they ensure that the control element is maintained. However, the dissemination happens at the scale which this country needs. And I think we've shown those models, whether it was in the treatment of COVID patients or the detection and testing.
Yes.
And now is the next phase of vaccine. So to answer your question very directly, I'm very hopeful and positive that India will reach its target of 30 crore people by June, July.
Yeah. Ma'am, how do you think that the private sector should be allowed into COVID vaccinations, and have you made any recommendations to the government regarding that?
No, so clearly we continue to say that the data and the monitoring remains with the government. The production is, of course, with the 2 large companies, and we are assuming that there will be 2 to 3 more sources of vaccines coming in.
Yes.
Whether the government is supplying the vaccine or is indicating, that you purchase your own is one step. The second very important step is the logistics and the cold chain. And I think, again, the private sector is capable of doing it. We had done extensive work across
Yes.
cold chain with our cold chain partner. And the third is the administering.
Yes.
As you all know, we've all had vaccination clinics before, so the capability is there.
Yes.
So using the government overarching IT system to maintain data, multiple private sectors people can come into play. And I think opening it up for the vulnerable is the next important phase.
Yes.
That when that happens and in a careful and calibrated manner, the private sector also begins to play that role, that's when you will see the ramp up of large numbers.
Are you recommending, ma'am, that private companies can take the vaccines and give it to their employees? An arrangement like that should be worked out, so that, because there's a report in the Economic Times today that says that India's vaccine supplies are exceeding the usage. Do you think some sort of arrangement like that, the private companies administering it to people, to their employees, also the CSR funding over there, do you think some sort of arrangement like that can be worked out?
See, the current framework of CSR
Yes.
is that you don't do CSR, you don't do anything to benefit your own company and call it CSR.
Yes.
So I don't know if that is something which the government will look at. However, CSR to enable the training of people
Yes.
to enhance the number of centers has already been allowed.
Right.
The important question is really, how do we enhance the categories? I want to
Yes.
reiterate that, it's very appreciative of the government's public health strategy.
Yes.
So the world's largest vaccination drive is also the world's largest public health and preventive health initiative.
Right.
And calibrating healthcare workers, frontline workers, then the vulnerable
Yes.
is a very equitable distribution format.
Yes.
So keeping that equitable distribution format, the next phase is really the vulnerable, so people over 50.
Yes.
Now, whether these pay for it themselves, get paid by corporates, government pays, should be a matter of their economic status. However, the important thing for us to look at is to really say that this is the next phase.
Yes.
In an environment of shortage, the supply should be controlled. If we open up this category, then potentially we may go into, it's not so freely available. So once you start the public distribution for the vulnerable category,
Yes.
then the supply ramps up even further, and then you open it up entirely. I think this is the phasing being planned by the government, and it is a very credible, appropriate method
Yes.
for distribution.
All right, ma'am, to speed up the vaccinations in Bombay, if you look at Mumbai, 20 private hospitals can now vaccinate their employees. Do you think this is one way forward to broad-base the administration of vaccines, since supply is overtaking the usage, to broad-base the administration of the vaccine? Is this one way forward?
So absolutely, it is a good way forward, because then you're looking at the other potential constraint,
Yes.
which is the skilled manpower who's capable, or the locations. So right now in some of our hospitals, say in Hyderabad, the government the government employees are physically in the hospital administering the vaccine to our employees. In our hospitals in Mumbai and in Chennai,
Yes.
it is the hospital staff. So I think right now everybody is evolving and supportive, and try and see the scale up as far as possible. So, but again, to answer your question, it is an 100% appropriate methodology.
Yes.
To give the supply to the private hospital and allow the private hospital staff to administer the vaccine and to report the names, the numbers, the complications to the government in the predefined IT, exactly like we did for the testing.
Right. One final question to you, ma'am. When do you think the vaccines will be available off the shelf?
So this is a guesstimate, so I'm not going to get into this game. However, I would say the sooner it happens, it's a credit to the Indian pharmaceutical industry. Yes. And to the capability of the government and the planning system.
All right, Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, thanks very much for joining us and sharing your perspective on India's COVID fight and the vaccination drive.